some of the things we've got coming up in the show today, some of the highlights, some things that I want the boys' opinions on. Steam requires age verification in the UK for mature games. Rumours are Xbox will be requiring the same as well. Sony planning a Switch-style PS6 console, because of course they are. And something I found out today, which is interesting but not but not very surprising at the same time, there's going to be a COD movie, Call of Duty movie in the works. And Justice 3 could also be on the way. And we also have AC Shadows to talk about, along with the Bungie boss being gone after all these years and decades.
Welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast.
Hello, this is Extreme Gaming Podcast. It is episode 296. I am Trev as always, and I'm joined by two of my favourite people today.
Great Gamer 25. I'm always here. Look how long I've been here.
Yep, it's great. And I am Hans, known as Michael from Hell, and I'm here every now and then.
Yeah, because we can't afford you every week. Well, we can't. Your rates are astronomical,
your
man.
Rate is
Sorry,
very
man.
high, so.
Gotta make a living.
Gotta make a living. No Mr. Matt today. He's got exams he needs to prepare for, so I respect that. He is busy. Hopefully we get him back. Well, we might actually not even have him next week, to be fair. So we'll see how we go. But yes, we will move on to the gaming news to start with, Mr. Grey Gamer.
I found two really interesting articles I can get your opinions on as we go through it. One of them was focusing on, I guess what you would call the AAA companies in China that are putting out games, as we've seen. And then there's the AAA over here. And it's really interesting to see the different opinions and so forth. So I'll start out with the Chinese side of things. One of the things that this particular gentleman was quoted for, his name is Soulframe, the Yang. I love that name.
Cool name.
He apparently started his career making games in the RPG Maker. That's an old piece of software. And then putting them online. He has a long history of mobile games, etc. And then he finally became the head or the lead guy on, as they're calling it, the Kung Fu Punk game Phantom Blade Zero, which is not out here yet. But everything I've seen on that game looks awfully good. I hope it's as good as what I keep hearing over and over and over again from people that got their hands on it. Some people actually flew to China to play it, just to see what it was like. So it was interesting. His opinion is that he prefers the Kung Fu animation, but he prefers to make his games about style over Souls-like sadism. That's his words.
I hate that phrase, Gray. See that phrase, Souls-like? I hate it. I can't stand that term now. I'm so fed up of hearing it.
And I think that's why he said it.
The more the merrier. Bring him on.
I think it's the way he said it, though, that really probably is his opinion, too, or at least it seems like, because he said that his games don't have Souls-like sadism. So, in any case, he was saying that this is really interesting. He says, since Black Myth Wukong, all the focus in China is on Chinese-made AAA big action games or simply just big games. He said, a lot are coming. It's different. The AAA big games for the Americans are not a new concept, like GTA, something like that. It's quite familiar to us. But the fact is, in China, there are many players who don't even recognize the button icons on a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller.
That's weird.
Very interesting. They're heavy PC. They're not into the consoles, apparently. Which is, I was going to say that's cool because that's what we
heavy
do.
PC and mobile, yeah.
Yeah,
mobile.
He said there are
the
more
market.
than 500 million mobile players in China. But for this guy,
insane.
the platform was a stepping stone to what he wanted to do, and that was the game that that will be out very, very soon. He said, although in China people love to see bigger games, that doesn't mean we're thinking bigger games are good. Good games are good. It's not big games are good, not inherently. He said he still admires the games from PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. He said those games were not big, but those games were good. what does this sound like? This sounds like stuff that we've always said. He sounds like he's a fan of games like us, like we all are, and he seems to be taking the attitude that once was with the AAA developers over here. As you go dive deeper into stuff like this, and he's talking about more than just himself. He's talking about the AAA people in China in general too. He said it sounds, the columnist was saying it sounds somewhat radical coming from a CEO like this gentleman, Liang, or from Larian CEO Swen Vicky, who used Baldur's Gate 3 Game Awards win to criticize arbitrary sales targets, layoffs, and treating players as users to exploit as blights in the gaming industry. That's a mouthful. Now that came from the Larian CEO. So the Larian CEO is here is American, but or US, whatever. And yet he feels the same way. So now you're starting to see this turnabout that's going on, which I think is great because it just gives us a chance to get more and better games, and doesn't mean you need billions of dollars to build a game. Sure. So I really can't wait for the game to come out. This particular one, Phantom Blade Zero, but there's other ones that have been out and still coming out that are great. I just started playing Wu Chang Falling Feathers a little bit since they put the update in. It's better now, and what little bit I played, I really enjoyed, and I have barely scratched the surface of the game.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just started playing Wuthering Waves a few days ago, just to test it out, and it may not be everybody's kind of game, but it's also a Chinese game. It's a massive open world. It's free to play. Of course, there's probably a monetary model there somewhere. I haven't encountered it yet, but it's like Zelda Breath of the Wild, but then with anime characters, and it has ray tracing. It has everything you want in there. Is
the anime
like Genshin Impact? Same thing actually, but then Chinese.
Since you played the game, is it anime characters? In other words, cartoonish characters, or not quite?
No, it's anime. It's anime. Yeah. You see,
because some people take characters that look more realistic, but
this is anime. They're skimpy clothed.
No, I'm not saying that. What I was saying is same skimpy stuff, except it looks more realistic.
No, it's cartoonish. It's literally. Okay, have you ever played Genshin Impact? It's almost an identical copy of Genshin Impact.
It's a free game, Gray. That's on so many different platforms. It's basically a Zelda ripoff, but a free version with paid in-game stuff. It's actually.
But my thing was though that it looks really great, and it has a ton of players playing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Chinese gaming industry is actually doing very well, and we all know why that is, right?
Well, that's part of the reason, but that's not the only reason. I mean,
it's one of the reasons, but it's a big reason.
Well, maybe two of the reasons, and then it goes on to other reasons. No, but I'm serious. We make light of it. To be honest with you, that is one thing. We all admit that, and that's the way it used to be too. But you can't just get by on just that. You have to have gameplay that's interesting or fun or whatever. How much of the game have you actually played, Hans?
About 4 hours in now.
Oh, that's not bad. So what do you think so far, or you don't really?
It's fine. I mean, it's a good game. I don't think I would play it like for hundreds or thousands of hours like some other people, but I am interested in finishing the story at least.
Very interesting. All right, now this is a contrasting article, at least in my opinion. This is a similar-ish article, but now we're talking about the AAA developers. The typical ones that we're talking about. More specifically, we're talking about Rockstar and Ubisoft. So I want to listen to what some of these people say, and you tell me what you think. I know what I think. CEO Strauss Zelnick is the CEO of Take-Two. And he says that he sizes up the steady rise of AA development costs and lengthening production timelines. He says, I think it's a reflection of the fact that as the entertainment businesses mature, consumers seek quality, and everyone realizes that the consumer is a highly demanding, and properly so. When I hear this, though, I'm starting to hear corporate speak, because yes, that's true to a certain extent. But there's so many other games out there, even games that maybe I don't prefer, but I get it. There's lots of people playing all different types of so-called quality games. And so to say something like that and pass off the fact that it costs so much to do these games on that,
Why you think he says that, Gray? Be honest. Why do you think Star Zelnick is
Because
saying...
he's trying to justify the fact that he's spending billions on GTA and whatnot.
And how much you think GTA is going to cost GTA 6?
$2 billion so far. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but I mean the
Which
price
is
for us
insane.
gamers.
I don't care how good the game is. That's insane.
Yeah, it's going to be at least $100 to $120 to
Yeah,
buy
they
the
were talking.
game.
I think was it 890, and then the deluxe was going to be 120 or 30.
And of course, they're going to sell a crap load of games. Huh? We know
Yeah.
that. The game's going to be profitable no matter what. I think GTA 5 is the highest grossing franchise or something. It made more than Star Wars and all that kind of stuff.
But that's an unusual one-off kind of thing. We know
it
that.
is an anomaly, admittedly.
Very much so, because most people aren't going to survive on doing that.
No.
And of course, he says his usual stuff. He's going. Here's an interesting quote. He goes, "Good is the new bad. Good is the new bad. Great is the new great. And our goal here is to make everything exceptional." I'm like, good is the new bad. So if you make a good game, that's bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid.
No.
That guy's clearly smoking illegal substances over there. Like,
And also,
what?
he knows they're going to make a lot of money with his game. So
Yeah.
for him,
But
it
he
doesn't really
entitled.
matter, to be fair.
Remember now, it's not just Rockstar. He is basically talking about a lot of the AAA companies. Maybe not every one, but a lot of them. And to sit there and go like, good is the new bad. So thank you. So if you put out a good game, everybody like us that plays that good game is going to go, oh no, this is bad because it's not good enough.
Okay, so if you take that quote for what it is, then Dragon Age of Veilguard is a good game, huh? I mean, it's one of the worst games I ever played, right?
Yeah, I didn't like Veilguard at all.
It was a stupid game. It was
But
boring
that wasn't a
beyond
good
all
game.
belief.
But that wasn't a good game. So you can't say that was a good one that's a new bad. It wasn't good.
Yeah, well, you
to
can't say
begin
that
with.
apparently, so...
I mean, now in their mind, maybe that's something different. So so I know what you're saying, but it's still. Now they have some quotes here by Guillermo from
that guy.
Guillermo. Yes, from Ubisoft, and I'm gonna read the. I gotta read this to you, and so you can. I want your guys to just. You'll see. Here he goes. He goes. His quote, right? The changing perception of the video game industry as a cultural and artistic medium is also leading to an increase in criticism based on ideological or societal considerations, sometimes at the detriment of technical or gameplay aspects. This trend increases the risk for publishers such as Ubisoft of being exposed to controversy relating to social, moral, or identity standards associated with their productions.
is that how Guillermo sounds? That makes sense now, right? No French accent.
And I
That's
put on
a
the voice
very
on
long way
purpose.
to say. That won't go broke. So.
Big words as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all corporate babble because I put on the act because that's exactly what it sounds like. I'm sitting there reading this and I go like, can you talk any better than this? I mean, come on.
Chat GPT.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going like, wow, man. I mean, so you take that quote that I just read and compare it to what we read of the Chinese AAA, it's night and day. They're not going to sit there and give a blown out, bloated statement like that. They're just going to say, we want to make some good games that people have fun with,
Yeah.
And we make it, and they use far less people than anybody else at this rate too. Let's see. Okay, here now. So this is Guillermo still talking. He says, I'm sorry. This is Zelnick again. He goes, Zelnick's remarks even more closely, arguing that delivering a solid quality is no longer enough. Well.
No, if it's good, then it's good, right? I mean, it's no, it's subjective, right? What I deem as good, you may deem as bad, but I mean,
the statement to me is stupid once again because he can sit back and go like, oh,
Great. His thing could have easily made sense if he just tweaked it a little bit. Instead of saying good is the new bad, great is the new great, if he'd said good is the new bad and great is the new standard. That would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Good isn't good enough. You need great to be sufficient. I'm just surprised he never added another A on to the end of his quadruple A games to whatever a 5As is called.
Or 5, just up at 1. He goes, we're in a challenging market filled with gamers expecting extraordinary experiences. See, I don't agree with all that either. We don't always expect extraordinary.
I do.
Why?
For the money we're paying, I expect greatness. For new games, that is.
True.
If they're charging
Yeah.
80 euros,
Yeah.
I want 80 euros
But-
worth of game.
Hans,
So-
the downside of that is it's taken like 5 to 7 years to make these games like that, and we know it doesn't
know,
take that
I know.
long. You can make great games that cost less for the consumer and less for the
Absolutely.
studio to make, but they're always trying to outdo each other with all these fancy graphics. Where like some of the best games I've ever played are indie games, or that Stray game, the cat game. That was
yeah.
fantastic, and
was
it
a
was
good
made
one.
for peanuts.
Yeah. It can be done, right? But Ubisoft, of course, they are the so-called kings of the open world, or they used to be, right?
Used to be.
So they
yeah.
had this huge AAA games open world, and they have stagnated for like so many years now. Because the genre has
And
been
they're-
done to death. And I don't have a solution to this one, by the way. But
No, there is
it
there
needs
is
to
no-
reinvent itself somehow.
The solution, unfortunately, is that the AAA companies either need to recognize this and turn it around, or simply go out of business and let the people that know what to do take over. I mean,
Yeah, no,
simple
it's
as
true.
that. I mean, Larian is not a new company, but they're new when compared to some of these others. And Larian has done nothing but put out quality games. Period.
Yeah, but they don't pump out games every year, eh?
Right, and then they take a franchise, Baldur's Gate, which is not their franchise, and we're asked to go ahead and make the game, and they make it, and it's one of the best games of the year.
Yeah,
Okay, so
to me, it was the best game of the year, even to a lot of
well,
people.
I'm saying
So-
so there are people that understand this, that have been around a while and can put out good games,
They can.
and then there's these people that make comments like this that just are so much bullshit, and they just come. It's just maddening when you see this. I'm getting to the point where I'm really liking a lot more of the Chinese and the Far East games that come out, because the only downside I think with the Chinese / Far East whatever games is that a lot of them will start to tend to be a little samey. But
It is
What,
true.
again-
like Western games, you mean?
well,
That's also true. It is true. Yeah, no, Trev's
I'm not
right.
saying that. Now, I'm not saying necessarily that's a terrible thing, as long as you can change it. What they're doing is they're leaning on Chinese mythology, which isn't any different than mythologies of Greece or
True.
Roman or whatever. So, but we've never seen it. So that's kind of cool to us. We're not exposed
True.
to enough of that. So now all of
Yeah.
a sudden we're coming up with all these interesting characters that are part of their mythology that we didn't know anything about. I do think that if we're going to see, as it goes on, that the Chinese developers have to keep that in mind, because they don't want to make a game that everybody's going to go like, oh, that's Black Myth Wukong again, or again,
Yeah.
or again, or again.
Yeah, but Black Myth Wukong also, I think, is a very niche game for a lot of people, because that's a really hard game. I'm not sure what the completion rate of that game is, but it's extremely hard to beat.
They made an announcement recently that they were going to make DLC, but now they decided to can the DLC and
really?
make.
Okay.
And the reason is because they're making another Wukong game.
I'd prefer that than DLC for a game, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
maybe,
that's not
yeah.
such a bad idea, right? And they're already well into the game, working.
Great.
it.
I don't blame them for doing that, for
No,
all these
no.
these Chinese games that are coming out, because like the Chinese mythos, it's huge, and you can do a lot with it. You're already getting that. Like I'm actually already starting to get sick of all the Japanese themed games that are coming out. There's so many of them out. Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotai, Assassin's Creed Shadows, just to name a few. That's getting a bit samey, and I think that's fascinating. So the Chinese
Well,
are just doing the exact same.
With Ubisoft, it figures timing is always terrible for them. What do? They come out with their pirate game way too late.
Yeah.
And then when they came out with Assassin's Creed Shadows, as much as I like some of the gameplay, they should have come out with that game long ago. So what do? They come out with it now in the middle of all the Chinese, Japanese games coming out, and it looks
We were begging for 10 years to make a Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed in feudal Japan, and they didn't do it, so...
now.
Have you finished it, Gray? Have you finished the game yet?
Well, I'm going to talk about that in the story
okay.
coming up. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, talk about the difference in between these two. It's like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There was one thing. There was apparently this guy Matt Piscatella. Apparently he's an analyst or a games analyst. He says he attributes some of this effect to the dominance of accessible live service games. It's like a substitution effect, he said. He goes, you can go play game A and pay X dollars to get in the door, or you can just fire up the game you're already playing, your forever game that you've been playing for, in some cases, 7 to 10 years. That's the choice people are making now.
Oh yeah,
He's got a good point, and stuff.
do.
I mean,
I see that with my daughter. She only plays one game, right? And a lot of her friends just play one game.
Yeah,
And
This is why it's so. Are you go, Hans?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is why it's so difficult to get into the live service genres. We've seen Concord being cancelled, The Last of Us live service game getting cancelled, even though it would have been brilliant because it's Naughty Dog. It's so hard to crack that market. So good luck anyone coming along trying to actually get in.
You need that one, a bit of luck to get in there, and then you're set.
Yeah.
I personally think that a lot of companies should stop taking so many chances on live service and just put out a good game more often.
The thing is, though, that if you can crack into the live service market, then you're set.
Well,
you have a source of revenue for a decade, at least.
Well, okay, but what if you make a really good game, and then make a live service version of that game later?
They did. The Last of Us, and then Bungie came along and went, Sony, you should cancel that. It's going to be crap. And look what happened to Bungie.
Yeah.
You're about to talk about them in a minute, man. They're fucking idiots that they are, so I'm still angry about that.
The thing is, if you take a game that people like and you want to turn it into a live service eventually, you have to make sure that it becomes different to the point where it's not like, oh, I wasted my money buying the game. I could have just done this. So, but it can be done. I mean, it's not like it can't be done. Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. But speaking about Bungie, so their boss, Pete Parsons, is out 23 years and he's gone.
I wonder why.
And he just comes out saying, like, I accomplished a lot of things there, and I truly made a lot of relationships and friends, and la 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 ba dee, and I think we've done whatever, blah 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 blah, and so now I'm leaving, and I'm like,
plagiarism.
And he's getting a parachute full of money, probably also to leave.
Oh man. Yeah. I was reading there's a little quote here from the article. IGN reported that a soul-crushing, not Souls-like, soul-crushing atmosphere among some staff in late 2023. This is at Bungie. Amid the first rounds of cuts, as Bungie's independence within Sony began to crumble following the declining fortunes of Destiny 2. Parsons came under fire during the 2024 layoffs after listings for his sports car collection indicated millions in purchases following the 2022 sale to Sony, even as rank and file staff were given pink slips. Fired.
The guy is an absolute clown. I'll tell you why. Because all his staff were talking about how management in general at Bungie is just shit in general. They didn't like working for them. There was the dreaded crunch. There wasn't great working conditions. You didn't enjoy coming into work. Many gaming companies like this have suffered from this in the past, and they're all having to change because they know they'll lose people. Rockstar was a great example of that. This is why it's now delayed by 6 months, because otherwise we'd have the dreaded crunch and people leave. So this guy is a clown. He knows he's getting out before he's pushed out by the board. And maybe it's not directly his fault, but he's leading at the top. So he's responsible for everyone underneath him.
And we don't know if he actually is getting pushed out, and they're just saying, we're going to let you go out gracefully. Otherwise,
they're going to pay. They're going to pay him a lot of money. So
one person made a comment to the article I thought was great. He goes, "Don't praise him. He is the reason for the downfall of Bungie turning into bungle."
I hate to see him like this, because I love Destiny, of course, and I wanted Destiny 3, and I enjoy the Destiny content, even though I haven't played it in a little while, but just one thing leads to another and another. It's things keep failing. Destiny's losing some money, and Marathon is delayed because of the plagiarism, and I think they had another game that they've cancelled as well. So it's not. And these are the guys that came along. Remember with Sony, and Sony were like, "You're the live service experts because Destiny's doing so well. What's good in our portfolio? Oh, there's that Last of Us live service game. That's going to be shit." Even though Naughty Dog make, in my opinion, fantastic games. It's my kind of genre of game. Fantastic games. The Last of Us Part 1 had a multiplayer mode added on to the end of it called Factions, which was brilliant.
I
People
never
go,
played that. Was it any good, to be fair?
it was great, mate. You had like was it survivors against the scavengers or something? So basically, you could be like Ellie or Joel or someone that's very sneaky, and then you would go up against the scavengers who had different skill sets. And then you should, after this, Google it a little bit, YouTube, to see what the gameplay was
Yeah.
like. It was really unique and cool. You could have had something like this spinning off into its own separate live service game. And we're trying to say, Bungie, you're saying that shit? Yeah, grip, man. Honestly, Sony were right to come in and go, right, disband the board, we're taking over. It's our company. We gave you a chance. You effed up, out. So let's hopefully now that they change the fortress, because I would like to see Destiny kick on. I'm being jealous. I'm being selfish, sorry.
I
Don't
I
know,
kind
but
of wonder
it's a
what
game that's currently played by a lot of people, huh?
Yes.
well, it
needs to
was
survive,
played by a
though.
lot of people. I don't know if it's as many now, but
7 years old, and that's
Still
one
enough,
of
I
those
think,
games that's in the 7 to 10 year category game, so it's been out a long time, Destiny 2. So.
Yeah.
the other thing I wonder from a marketing standpoint is I know they wanted to get Marathon out, but now the problem is that there's so much bad press about that game that even if you do get it out, it's just not going to sell like it would have.
It's dead on arrival, I think. So.
Yeah, so they should just kind of like chill for a second, maybe go in, make a few changes, call it something different, and then bring it out.
They won't, great. They won't, because this is Bungie that overall own them. Sorry, it's Sony that overall own Bungie, and they won't want more egg in their face because they cancelled Firestorm's or is it Firebreak's Concord.
Yeah.
Even though they should have brought that out. This
And
would cost as much now to cancel, I don't think.
Well, what was the game that was cancelled after 3 days there? I already forgot the name.
Was it not Concord?
Was it? Yeah. They lost
was
Concord was
a crap
less
ton of
than
money
a
on that
week,
one, eh? So.
That was the hero shooter game, wasn't it? Which actually looked good, but the problem was they took so long with the idea that it was popular when they first started talking about it. But by the time they brought it out, I was like, we've done the hero shooter thing, we're bored.
Yeah.
It's called Overwatch.
Way too late, yeah.
So, yeah.
Just like Ubisoft with their pirate game. I mean,
Yeah.
way
Actually,
too
I
late.
was so hyped for Skull and Bones for many years.
So was I.
And then they told us, look, it's more like a spin-off of the pirate combat that we had.
Yeah.
In Black Flag, I was like, that was the first red flag, and then it all went downhill from there. So
I got that for £7. That's how cheap it was. I got it for £7.
Which
even
one?
I found that too. So, Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. Okay, yeah, no, I
So
don't
cheap,
own
mate.
it, and for $7 I would have probably bought it just to test it out. I gotta be honest,
yeah.
I
so.
keep hearing the remake of Black Flag is looking real good, and they're adding some new stuff to it too, as well.
I hope
as
so. I
remaking.
just played Black Flag like 2 months ago. I replayed it, and it's still a very good game. It's one of the better Assassin's Creed. So I hope
Did you
there's a remake coming. A lot of people saying it's coming, but there's nothing official yet. So let's wait
What,
and
for
see here.
Black Flag remake? No, it's definitely coming.
Yeah, I hope.
Did you
I think
beat
they
Black
said-
Flag the second time you played it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good man. So I'd like to hear.
I'll tell you what
It's a
I
good
really
game.
like. There's a lot of smart people out there on YouTube that take the extreme amount of time and effort to do comparisons of games today versus games of a few years ago, et cetera, et cetera. And there was one where they're showing, I think it was Assassin's Creed Mirage on the right side, and then they showed another older Assassin's Creed about 10 years ago or more, and they wanted to show the differences of the parkour in the game. Now, Mirage, yes, was good, and it was a little more fluid than the older game, but the older game had a lot more nuances going on that you just don't see. It's almost like we go back to the whole immersion factor. Just because you think you don't want to put something in because you want to save time doesn't mean that that's going to make the game better. Quite likely, it's not.
No, because I can. Speaking of Shadows, we're going to talk about it later, right? But this is relevant.
Well,
So
we
I
can
played
talk about it
Shadows.
now. We're going on right into it.
I played
so.
Shadows not that long ago. I also finished the game, by the way. And when you go into a village, you see the villagers running or just standing there doing mostly nothing, right? In Black Flag, not most of them. In Black Flag, the villagers actually walk around, go to work. There's a band singing like 9 different songs, and so you don't have that anymore in current Ubisoft games.
In Shadows, there's still some of that, but yes, far less than it used to be.
Very little though. So
I don't know if you want to call this finished or not finished. Technically, I didn't finish the game, but here's the reason. I played the heck out of it, and I enjoyed a lot of it. Not going to say I still don't think it's a 10 out of 10 or anything. I'm still sticking with my 7 out of 10, but I had fun. I did have fun on a lot of things, and I really like. But then I noticed that to really finish the game, you have to play as Yasuke for several missions, more than several missions actually, to be able to finish it.
A whole chapter, a whole story.
Right. So I'm right up against that right now, and I'm going like, well, I don't want to play with Yasuke.
No,
I'm not. I don't.
I'm gonna be honest though. The Yasuke parts are off-putting, and I don't want to pull the racist card here again because every time you say that, you're a racist, you're a bigot, blah blah. No, there's something off-putting about that particular character in that time period, and I know it's based on a quote-unquote true story, which is debatable, but still. Also, the playstyle of Yasuke is completely different from anything you have in Assassin's Creed. So
holy smokes!
Yeah. It's
I'm
not
sorry.
fun.
I play Assassin's Creed for the reasons that it's stealth, etc., parkour, all that stuff. Yasuke doesn't parkour. He just goes trying to get up on top of the building.
When you fall, when you do like guy. Yeah, when you jump off a tower, it's like bam. It's like I hope I didn't see
the whole
this.
thing on Assassin's Creed is a leap of faith, where you jump off the high part, the highest part, and you land in a pile of hay. He
just falls down like a brick.
Right? Nice graceful fall, poof, he goes, whoa, and then he lands into the hay.
Yeah, he just
bounces
down like
out of the hay, and he goes, "I'm fine."
Nothing to say here. You didn't see me fall to my death.
And I'm going like, man. So now I don't care if I finish the game or not. I'm not going to play as him. I don't want to. I mean, I even if I put on the God mode and just ran through all the missions in seconds, I don't want to do that either.
Great. To be fair, Gray, without spoiling, the ending isn't really anything.
I saw some video on it, and I probably will go back and watch it just to see what the ending was. But
Gray, I never play games, very rarely more than once, because there's so many games out there to play. Yeah. And if you've got a game like that where you want to play it 2 or 3 times, go through different characters, I won't do it. I used to do it for Destiny 1. You would get 3 different types of characters you could make, different classes, and I would do all those missions 3 times a week. And then I just went, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm just sticking to the one character, which is the Titan, which is the least popular, because no one wants to go the big soldier, buff, strong guy. They just want to go the bloody warlock or the wizard or something, like just boring, dull.
I agree with Trev, though. I also rarely replay games. The only games I replay are the older ones that I collect. So it's.
Yes, Hans. Which reminds me, do you want to show us those 2 games that you've got there? Hans is building something really cool and special, and he got a special physical edition of 2 games that he just showed us a moment ago.
It's actually for you guys more, I guess.
Star Trek, the 25th anniversary, guys.
The fully voice acted.
Is that the floppy disk, Sans? Is that the one?
That's
with
a floppy disk version. This one, yeah.
Ask your parents what a floppy disk is, right? If you're not too sure.
But Gray was there during the creation, so he should know. So
you had the other one. You had Indiana Jones.
Yeah, this is my personal favorite game. Means a lot to me, nostalgic wise. This is the game that got me into gaming. I mean, PC gaming, which is Indiana Jones.
You see that in the bottom of the corner.
You got to sing the music when you hold it up, Hans. It's part of the course.
Indiana Jones. Yeah, let Gray do it. So, actually, this game, from what I heard about it, is this was actually the script for the 4th movie, and it never came to pass, sadly, because this would have been a way better 4th movie than the Crystal Skulls ever was. Yeah. And let's not even talk about the last one. So,
that's very cool. No. That is very cool.
Last one?
Yes. Moving on, ladies and gents. Moving on. Something I would like to discuss that's not surprising, but also I'm excited about at the same time. It's very likely that we're going to see an Injustice 3 because the Superman and Green Lantern voice actors kind of leaked it a little bit. Whoopsie, they may not. They may not get another job again. Their names are Phil Lamar and George Newbern. They play Green Lantern and Superman. And they also have been in various animated shows and features throughout their time. It's to be fair, it's not really a well kept secret. We've kind of known that from data mine leaks and whatnot. And NetherRealm basically have two great franchises that they keep making, which is Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Now, I know I can speak at least for Gray on this one, and I've mentioned it a few times before. I certainly can't stand fighting games. They're not my cup of tea. However, if you played an Injustice game or a Mortal Kombat game, it's like a little mini movie because there is loads of cutscenes in between. There is a story to it as well as the versus mode. And literally, there's a guy online. I forgot the name. I forgot his name, Gray, but a YouTube guy that literally takes all the cutscenes and actually does a pretty good job of blending them together to make a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, the last Mortal Kombat game wasn't as good for that. Mortal Kombat 1, because there never was a Mortal Kombat 1 technically, it was just Mortal Kombat. So they basically went up to Mortal Kombat 11 and it went back to 1 again. But Mortal Kombat 11 was part of like a 3-arc game series or something where it got to the end and it rebooted the universe, and it was really cool. I was like, you guys should be doing this in the movies, man. Maybe down the line, because it's a bit far-fetched. Gray will remember that one. But I remember us both really enjoying that. I was like, this is great. I'm sitting watching this movie going, why are they not doing, why is this in the game and not like on the big screen? So Mortal Kombat 1 comes along and it was still good and entertaining, but not as good. Injustice 1 and 2 were brilliant. Those story arcs, like Superman going bad and evil Superman and how you stop him, and the storyline was just great.
The animation was really good.
Oh,
it was a good game, right?
Yeah, so like obviously Justice 3 coming along, Warner Brothers own them, so I think Warner Brothers have just decided, listen, we're going to stick to the franchises we know that are good. That's why we've blocked a lot of things. They will be working closely and or getting direction from James Gunn and Peter Safran, because as Gunn said before, the games, the animated movies, the actual live action movies, maybe even comics as well, they're all going to be linked together and they're all going to have the same actors. So they'll be working closely together. You might see other games down the line as well. So am I right in saying, Gray, that maybe you wouldn't get the game, but you'd probably get all the cutscenes from that guy and enjoy a little good movie with some popcorn?
I haven't seen them all edited together, but I have seen several, and I know they're pretty good. In fact, there was I don't know if it was the same guy, but he put together all the cutscenes from God of War. And I couldn't believe how long it was. It's 7 hours.
7 hours of just hearing boy.
But the cool thing about it is that when you watch it like that, with the exception of little things here and there, it's like a 2-part movie.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. It was done well. But I was just surprised at the length. I'm going, was it really that long? Because I played the game and loved it, and I'm sitting there going, was that long? Yeah, maybe it was. Because when you play a game like that, you get into it for minimum 50 hours, if not 75, 100, 150. So yeah, I guess I can understand that. Plus, a game like God of War, when you're talking about repeat play, the only games I would even consider maybe replaying was games that were that good. God of War was so good, and God of War Ragnarok was so good. The story, everything. They just aren't making games like that, man, anymore. It's like pulling teeth or something. I mean, what's the deal? Those are. I
hope they would remake the old God of Wars. So
yeah, there's been talk about it, but
I thought those were better. But it's a personal opinion, of course. But yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing a version of the old one brought up to the standards of the two recent ones. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I keep hearing remake. They're gonna remake or remastered, whatever they call it, to make it look a little better. But I don't know. It's like it's not the same maybe for some people. But when I hear things like they just recently remastered what was it? Oh, Lara Croft, the first couple Tomb Raiders.
Oh, that was
So I went back to look at it. Now, again, I think it looks better, yes. I mean, it does look better, but I'm not going to play it. It still doesn't look that good. Not compared to the newer ones.
Yeah,
there's also the Metal Gear one now.
They're trying to keep that old nostalgic feel, though.
Came out, didn't it? You guys didn't play it yet, did you?
I haven't played it yet, no. I know it came out, but there's a lot of problems with the gameplay, apparently, and it stutters like hell. But maybe that gets fixed.
Gotta wait for those fixes.
Yay.
I want to play that one though because that looked
Yeah,
interesting.
me too. But I'm not paying €80 for it. I'm
Well,
waiting for sale.
see, that would suit Gray really well, the new Metal Gear Solid or the remaster, because there is a mode where I showed the trailer before where you can literally blend into the environment as rocks, as sand, or whatever. And we know Gray basically is the hiding simulator champion. If it's King of the Hill, Call of Duty, Warzone, he hides in plain sight. He would be good at that. He would be good at
You
that.
should play Ghost Recon Breakpoint with me. I'm a sniper there.
I played that game, not in a while, but I played it a lot.
Hans has been playing that a bit recently, going back to it.
I got it at a Steam sale for €14 for the gold edition. So
you'd never played it before then?
Nope, I played the previous one, but not this one. And I'm playing on immersive mode, which is actually pretty cool.
What is Breakpoint? Is it like that open world type game?
Yeah, it's an open world game where you're a military squad. In this case you're being shot down and you need to complete.
What's the one that came before or after it? Is it Wildlands or something?
That one I played for. And
are they the same type of game, those two?
The same type of game. And one thing about Wildlands, though, I was never able to beat the Predator scene. There's like a DLC where you can fight the Predator, right?
Really?
And I never was able to complete it, so I should go back and just do that.
Oh, yes.
That's not Wildlands. That is Breakpoint.
That's 100% Wildlands.
No.
It's a DLC. It's a DLC.
No. There was a thing in Breakpoint where they did a whatever special thing. And they introduced the Terminators that ran around in the game, and then for so long, and then they got rid. Then that was it. It's not there anymore. So that was. I know. They should have left it in, but it was a special promo kind of thing or something like that. And you see the Terminator running around. There was a couple of them though. There was like more than one, I think, if I remember right.
100%. It's the jungle move. The Predator is a Predator mission in Wildlands. It's still in there.
Oh, okay. Well, that one's still in there. But the other one I'm talking about, the
I never
promo,
played the Terminator one, so I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, they did that on a couple things too, which is that's not so bad to do a little crossover kind of thingy. But if you're gonna do it, A, make it good, and B, leave it in. I've seen this this special crossover stuff pop up and then disappear. It's not Fortnite.
Sorry, Gray, you are correct. They took it out in 2020. The Predator thing. So, yeah, you're right.
And that was stupid because it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, boys.
The license was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Took the words out of my mouth. You can apply for a temporary license, which a lot of game franchises do, or you can pay for a permanent one. And who's going to do that? Because that costs me shit. So that's probably why.
Sad now. Now I'm sad because I never completed that mission. It was too difficult. I could never
hard.
do it. So.
I don't think I ever completed it either. It was tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
I mean, when the Terminator got close enough to you, man, you're dead meat.
And I'm that stubborn. I refuse to use any cheats. So.
Okay, moving on to something that's not surprising. I'm surprised it wasn't done a lot sooner, to be honest with you. Call of Duty movie officially in the works at Paramount with a TV show to possibly follow. Now. The reason I find that interesting is because this is Paramount who done Halo, which I enjoyed. One season was a bit meh, the other season was good, and it got cancelled before it had a chance to really get going. Mixed emotions and feelings in that one from people, but I'm really surprised, boys, that it's taken this long for someone to make a COD movie. Now you could argue, how many war games or war movies are out there, lots of them, but try to tailor it to a COD kind of feel. Bear in mind, COD goes through different areas of time and different themes there. So why have we never seen a COD movie until now, man? Is it too difficult to make because it's very samey?
I think you just hit the nail on the head a minute ago. If you're gonna try to make it's gonna come up as a war movie, no matter what you say. And if it comes up as a war movie, there's so many good war movies out there that I don't think it'll even come close to. And you can't play it. You can't make it really just like the game unless you're going to have people die and come back to life right away.
Yeah. I'm not really sure there's a big market for a movie in this one, but we'll see. So,
you got to try it, right?
Yeah, maybe. It's the name alone that will sell it, boys. It's as Gray and I will know this pretty well, but. Recently, Skydance bought over Paramount finally after paying the Trump bribe Sorry. The settling out of court. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
the deal.
sometimes
Yeah,
talk
the
out
deal.
loud.
Yeah.
We won't get into politics, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
So now Skydance own them. They're trying to basically get them up and running and efficient and make money again. And the CEO of Skydance now of Paramount is a chap called David Ellison, and he has basically said, as a lifelong fan of Call of Duty, this is truly a dream come true. You are a big geek, David, and I love you already, said Paramount Chairman and CEO David Ellison. From the first Allied campaigns in the original COD through Modern Warfare and Black Ops, I've spent countless hours playing this franchise that I absolutely love. Being entrusted by Activision and players worldwide to bring this extraordinary storytelling universe to the big screen is both an honour and responsibility that we don't take lightly. So
We'll see.
I am looking forward to this because it's a new era and dawn for them, and I think it's smart because, let's say, the name will sell it alone. I think Paramount are, boys, they've cut out their little niche with this. They made Halo, which had kind of mixed success. And I think they're going to go down making more TV shows and movies based off of famous games. It's a no-brainer, man. It's something
Yeah, well,
that
they're doing it left and right anyway. So
Yeah,
we are,
everywhere.
and,
true.
and we're seeing more better ones coming out here, like Mortal Kombat as well, which has been delayed by 7 months so they can make more bloody money. Yes, I'm not happy with that. Not happy with that. Anyway,
There are so many
yeah.
games that we're going to be flooded in the coming years. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be TV. God of War is going to be TV.
Yeah.
And a couple others. So we're going to see some interesting stuff. And I do know that the showrunners on God of War, Ronald Moore, is a veteran of this stuff. So if anybody can pull off a good one, he could. So I'm hoping
he made Ronald D. Moore made he helped make Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
He helped make the modern version of Battlestar Galactica, which is one of my favorite franchises of all time, just behind Star Trek. He also made Outlander, which is technically sci-fi, but it's more history, so it's very away from his wheelhouse, and he done a good job.
Yep.
And now he's going to go on to make God of War, which was a bit concerning at the start because the guy said, I've never played the game, I don't play video games. I'm like, right. So what you need to do then, Ronald, is you need to get that guy from YouTube to take out all the cutscenes, right, and then watch it as a movie.
Did. I'm sure he did.
Yeah. He said he enjoys the cutscenes. Just get Christopher Judge in to play him, mate. Come
They
on.
won't. They're not going to because
Why? Because one guy's black and other guy's white.
No,
it's just wrong,
because
man.
Christopher Judge his health is not that great, so they're not going to put.
Is it not? Oh,
yeah. They said that if he had he's not dying or anything, but the point is that they said his knees are shot, and he couldn't do any of the stunts or anything like that. And
no!
So,
I remember him talking about his health, mate. So he could do a game because a game's not as intense, but a movie, he have to jump about like a younger guy. Yeah,
I don't think they've actually cast the role yet, but I've heard some names bandied about that sound interesting.
The boy probably couldn't be he probably couldn't be hired because he's now getting too old. Ironic, so it'll just be a new cast, I think. Anyway. Right, before we get into the entertainment podcast side of things.
It's okay, it's called Tangent. We love tangents.
We do love tangents, we do. This is a news article that Gray found originally.
Wait. Before that, I want to go back and get your opinion on something.
Okay.
On the COD movie, my opinion is that they should do the World War II COD movie. What do you guys think?
No, because World War II movies have been done to death, and I adore World War II movies. I do. But it's been done to death, and they haven't done a World War II one for a while. I think they should base it on Black Ops, which is their most famous franchise.
Yeah, that was my opinion. Also, I'm not really a COD fan, but everybody knows the Black Ops series.
If they make a movie after Black Ops 7, I don't know if I'm going to go see it.
Never played it. Can't say anything about it.
No, it's not out yet. I don't think. But the trailer for it is just totally bad.
That was a teaser trailer, mate. To be fair, there has been more releases.
Everything I saw in the teaser trailer, I didn't like. I was just like, "What is going on?"
It's a teaser. But yeah, listen, boys, it's included in the Game Pass, which Gray and I have at least. So,
hell, if it's free, I'll play it.
you play it anyway, mate.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
What I found interesting was Battlefield 6 dev says a significant number of users played the game as in the open beta recently, below the minimum recommended specs, as EA points to the importance of weaker hardware. Now, I find this interesting because Battlefield 6 was this beta was massive.
Yeah.
We talked before about how it's probably going to beat COD and blow it out of the water for various reasons. The Frostbite engine is one of my favourite engines that EA use. It's stunning. It really is stunning. Um, and when you mentioned this article in the notes, Greg, I wasn't really surprised about what I read because it's such a well optimized engine that it can scale very, very well. And if you're a developer this modern day and age, you need an engine that scales really, really well because you're bringing it out for several different platforms and even different generations. And not everyone has the same kind of rig that we have. We have higher end rigs. And not everyone can do that. There's a lot of people that still play at 1080p. It's still one, if not the most popular resolution to play at. So I find this interesting, but I'm not surprised at the same time. What's your boy's opinion on this?
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Hans.
oh, yeah, sorry. I was just going to say. I mean, a lot of people that play competitive games or third-person shooters don't really care about the graphics, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
with the hardware that we own, we are like the 1%, so to speak. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the overwhelming majority of players still have a 3060 or a 2060, and just go look at the Steam hardware survey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I gotta be honest though, if you play one of the competitive games, who cares about the graphics? You need the frames at that point. So I think,
Yeah, but
you
the
know,
competitive player is a whole nother animal.
yeah, but most
mean-
people that play those kind of games are competitive, be it professional or not, right? So
Mhm.
there's very few players I think that actually play that just to have fun, right? There's always a competitive element to it in those kind of games, and I know they're not for me, but they're massively popular. And
Sure.
Yeah.
if I play a game like that, I want the highest amount of frames possible. I just turn down my graphics to low, just to get the smoothest experience.
Well, even so, though, those kind of players are not going to make up the ones that they're lowering in the specs. I think with the lower specs they're talking about is people like you were just saying or whatever. They just don't have the computer for
no,
it.
of course, that's
You
also
know,
a factor.
The only good thing I can say about Battlefield 6 is it's so well optimized that they actually can play the game on a
Kudos.
lower rig, which is very smart of them to do.
As it should be with every game, to be fair. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
what game
yeah.
it is. So
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah.
done.
It was an interview with Eurogamer where this came about, to be fair, this article. And it was the technical director of the game, a chap called Christian Buell, Buhl, Buell or Buell.
Sure wasn't
he-
good.
This is gonna get
What?
clipped, but okay.
Speaking about the lines Battlefield Studios and EA went to ensure the game was playable by those in older setups, Bill goes on to actually say that we built maps and had to go to our artists and tech artists to adjust these maps so that they were more performant. We put in a lot of efforts across the board to make sure these performance targets were set. And whether you're on a minimum spec or an ultra spec, you're going to get the experience we're targeting. So that goes on. That touches upon what you boys just discussed a moment ago, especially Hans. You can have the best of both worlds. If you're super competitive, turn off all the DLSS stuff and just lower graphics, and then just play on high frames. But I like the shinies, so I
too.
would like to ramp everything up. I'm not as worried about latency because I'm not playing it at that level. So I would turn on. Well, I'd always try it without DLSS first of all to max out the frame rate of my monitor, which is still 144 hertz because I have a 4K monitor, and that's fine for me for now. If I'm getting close to, if I'm still well under 100 frames when I put everything up, then I'll look at the DLSS option, and I'll probably put it on balanced or quality, so I'm still enjoying what I've got. But I like the shinies, boys, so I'm not going to substitute anything for
I
that.
agree with your opinion, especially for single player games, right?
100%.
So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
if I'm playing a single player game, I crank everything up to the max. The thing with DLSS is with the new transformer model, it's a lot better, right? So you can actually use performance now without... The performance mode now is better than what quality used to be, right? In the older one. So frame generation, that's a different beast. I mean, times 1, fine in most cases. Times 2, times 3 and 4, in my opinion, is unplayable, right? So I would never use that. But I have a 244 Hz monitor, not 4K. It's like the ultrawide 1440. And I never maxed out my games in single player. So I get like, 100, 120 FPS, depending on the game. There's even some games out there, like Alan Wake 2. If I put everything on ray tracing, path tracing, even with DLSS and frame generation, you get like, 80, 85 at that point. So for me...
we're back to the optimization again. Like Doom,
that's what I mean. And
like Doom and
with
the
those
other...
shooters, remember we once did a tournament, I don't know, Ring of Elysium, I think it was, where we teamed up.
Yeah.
And
long time ago, yeah.
what I did there was, okay, everybody's like shooting me like left and right, and I was like, okay, turn every graphics down, just get the smoothest experience possible, and I was able to get 1 kill in the whole night. So yay me.
They look like 16-bit blocks, but at least you killed them.
I killed one person who was Matt. Shame on Matt. I still got him, so...
Yeah, we will be talking more about the DLSS stuff towards the end if we have time, because I have an article on it, and Hans has got an opinion about something as well, so we'll probably discuss that more. But certainly the last thing I've got for my game news section is more of an update. I'd like to mention if any cool games are coming along to things like Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus Pass or whatever. And the games for September on Xbox Game Pass are interesting purely because one of them is a game that a lot of people have been absolutely gagging to play for a while since it was announced. I'll just read out the games that are on the list that are coming. They are titled I Am Your Beast, which, okay, is a bit disturbing, the title, but okay. Another one is called Nine Souls. Another one, Cataclysmo. The other one, which I know Hans will be desperate to play, is Paw Patrol World. He strikes me as that kind of guy.
Can't wait.
Let's go.
You open this ray tracing, though.
Yeah, 100 and path tracing. We also have Roadcraft. Now, this sounds very interesting because I've got this on my gaming list to buy. It's like Mud Runner and games like that, right? So bear that in mind. And the last one, which is really interesting, I've saved it for last on purpose, is Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, people have had such a hard-on for this for a while.
Yeah, I know. I've been hearing this.
It looks beautiful, the kind of animated, kind of graphical style of it. It's basically, I call it an indie plus game. So an indie studio with a bit more money to spend. People were, when this was announced at Gamescom, like the actual date, people were losing their shit. It's one of these kind of like cult games, boys, that people really, really want to play. It's not for me. It's not for me personally, but you boys give me your opinion on what you think.
Not for me either.
Come on. It's a Metroidvania game. So I love them. Yeah, I love those kind of games. So.
We'll let you play that one.
Yeah. I love.
You have to play that and review it.
Castlevania is my all-time favorite franchise, right?
Mm.
So Castlevania ranks above everything. Sadly, there's nothing at the moment anymore, but these are like all based on Castlevania games, and I know Metroid is also in there too. I wasn't the biggest fan of Metroid, but I understand why people like it, so they now call it Metroidvania. But yeah, I love those games.
So Hans, instead of Souls-like, it's Castlevania-like thing. Yeah.
It is actually, you can maybe say Souls-like in 2D. So,
God, man.
But you gotta be fair though, the Castlevania games like Castlevania 1, 2, and 3 of old, they were way harder than any Souls game that was ever made, so way harder.
I can tell you one thing about Silksong that I read an article passing. They said that there were games that were going to be coming out that same week, and they have now moved their date to 2 to 3 weeks after that game.
Yeah.
They're all scared shitless about it.
Yep.
They don't want to go up against it.
It's a very good point because it'll be.
So whether I like it or not, this is moot. The point is that they are scared of this game, man. They do not want their game to come out around it.
There's a cult following, yeah. I mean,
and the thing is, it's on Game Pass. So if you get Game Pass, you're playing it for free or included. but you can still buy it as well. So it will be pretty popular in that respect. People want to buy it. I mean,
Yeah, it's also not
Hans,
going to be very expensive, so.
no, it should be. Hans, have you
Shouldn't
got
be.
Xbox Game Pass, or do you dip in and out when you need it?
I have a Game Pass at the moment, which I
Yeah.
got with my laptop, so it's still like 6 months. I
Still
think I still
valid.
have.
The only reason I still have Game Pass is because it's the greatest birthday and Father's Day gift ever. That's all I do. I said, just give me the Game Pass card. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Stay with
Yeah,
it.
I just dip in and normally I dip in and out when there's something I really want to play. And
That makes more sense.
So-
That does make more sense. Microsoft also likes to remind us players that their first major story DLC for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, titled The Order of Giants, will be released
Played
on
it.
September the 4th, probably the day that this pod is released. You can get the DLC if you want, so interesting. But yeah, certainly for the gaming news for my section, that is me, but we're moving on to the hardware tech news, and Mr. Gray is up.
Yep, we're gonna talk just briefly about Threadripper. I was looking at the
Yes.
the title alone I thought was great. It goes AMD Ryzen Threadripper workstations shred everything from AI to gaming. I was like, yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not a
yeah,
cheap little. Apparently, they have two different ones though. There's a 9970X, which is actually a little weaker than the 9980X. So the 70X has 32 cores, 64 threads. The 9880X has 64 cores and 128 threads. And it also is very good on power and thermals, so that's all kind of interesting. They said that obviously multi-threaded applications is where it shines. You know, that's of course that's why I wouldn't be
Just
called
saying out there,
Threadripper.
do not buy this just for gaming, okay? To everyone out there.
No.
Do not do that.
We're only talking about it here
Yeah, I
for,
know.
for people out there
Just
because
saying.
we're geeky on it. And if I had money that was burning on the floor, I'd buy it. But otherwise, it ain't happening. But it is pretty cool. I mean, it's a monster. They said that basically the Threadripper, I think, first came out in 2017, and they said since it's been out in 2017, it's always leading the market for this type of chip when you need it. Now, here I thought that this was real interesting. It said an example, if you wanted to get the highest end 9980X, let's say, and you wanted to use it for gaming, and you bought a case and you bought a good GPU, and you bought the Threadripper, et cetera, it would cost you somewhere in the range of $9,700.
See, this is why I'm not buying those kind of stuff. So,
I know the chip alone, though, just without everything else, is around.
But it's
5,000.
not consumer grade. Let's be honest. So,
Yeah, no, it's just a fun thing to look at, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, a $5,000 chip. I think I can wait a little bit.
Yeah, me
but
too.
It's pretty cool though, on what it can do. Can you imagine when you pair that up with the 5090? There's nothing that could ever mess it up.
Gray,
There's
I've
no
got a
game out
question.
there.
I've got a question for you. Is there a
Crisis?
godlike motherboard that you can put a Threadripper into? Is there a version of
I
that?
wish. Yeah, you can
No.
not on the AM5 architecture. There's no way. The chip is like 25-50%
No,
bigger.
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I went, is there a godlike board version for
Oh
a
Jesus! Can you
Threadripper?
imagine if you can imagine if there is one. It would cost more than mine, and mine was enough.
Yeah.
That's just a funsy kind of thing that I thought was kind of interesting. This next article, I love this. I found this just when I was scouring the internet by accident, and I'm just like, what? So it reads, Laser Weeder, this is a machine, Laser Weeder packs 24 NVIDIA GPUs and lasers to zap your weed problem. It
What?
vaporizes 600,000 weeds per hour at the sub-millimeter precision.
I
know, and I'm looking at this going like, well, wait a minute, is this for real? So I'm reading here, NVIDIA has revealed that it's in a surprising partnership with an agricultural robotics company.
Oh, that kind of weed. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Right.
Yeah, it's
okay.
not the home.
This
it's
is
not the
why
home
Nvidia
thing.
is not a gaming company anymore. Okay, so,
Exactly.
so, yeah.
They said apparently the agricultural robotics company's flagship product deals out instant laser death to fields full of weeds. It's a Carbon Robotics Laser Weeder G2. which packs in 24 high-power lasers and 24 Nvidia GPUs to facilitate its claimed 10,000 weeds per minute zapping.
At the low price of $50 million or something, whatever. So.
To quote Austin Powers, freaking lasers, man, freaking
Yeah,
lasers.
And if you want to get down to the second, by the way, it's 167 weeds a second. So I'm sitting there looking at but then they had a little YouTube video, and I gotta watch this. So it's a machine that's actually not on the ground. It's up in the air, some pulled by a tractor. It's not small. It's like 20 feet wide. You know, and you pull it along, and from the pictures I've seen, it looks like it's above the ground by about maybe, probably about 6 feet or something. Mm-hmm. And so underneath it, you see all these lights and things blinking all the time or whatever. And then they showed as it ran, you know, because you could actually get a camera down there. There's plenty of room. So they were shooting it the field as this thing was going over. And you see these little weeds that are all around that are in between the crop lines, right? And all of a sudden, they just burst into flames. They go whoosh like this. Like, yeah, cool.
What can a 5090 not do? Of course, it's not 5090 they're using,
no,
but what can one of their GPUs not do?
So when you think of it, a graphics processing unit, this is what GPU means. What the hell does that got to do with a laser? And yet, here you go.
Yeah, but those are Nvidia's AI GPUs, and I say it again, Nvidia, it's not a gaming company anymore, so don't worry about it. That's
get this, they call it the Nvidia Accelerated Large Plant Model. Weed Identification System. There you
Nvidia's
go.
Weed Whacker, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, the thing is, now this is important to agriculture. It says it ensures that your crops don't fall to friendly fire. So in other words, if you're in agriculture and you depend on this, if it went wild and started killing off your crops and burning them, you'd be pretty mad.
You would be.
Could destroy a town in the wrong hands.
So they got the science down to the fact that it knows what weeds are. It scans over them, and as soon as it knows it's the weed that you need to kill, it just plain out zaps them. And I'm sitting there going, wow, man.
Okay.
Wow. Now, of course, the same as where they lay people off for the industry and gaming lately. They said it's a massive labor saver, outperforming a hand crew of 75 people. I guess so.
Oh, disappointing.
Yeah, but you got to watch the video on your own time, guys. It's just funny as hell. You just see it going over, and you just see these just burst into flame, and as it leaves, you see little smoke puffs. You know,
I have to watch this now.
Like where the weed was. By the way, people that are listening to this, okay, we do a video pod, and we put in all kinds of clips and stuff as we talk about it. So I will put this in. I will put this in. There's no doubt about it. I will do that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Weed whacker sounds like something for your bloody nose or your ears or something, doesn't it? It's just nuts. Wow.
Not unless you're growing weeds inside your ears. Maybe some people.
Oh, wow.
Too much information.
Yeah.
This next one is, I purely looked at this just from a geeky aspect. But apparently ProGrade has come out with a new digital 16 terabyte PG-10 external SSD. 16 terabyte. Apparently it goes max read speed is 25 megabits a second. The write speed is the same. Sustained write speed of 2,000 megabits a second. Bus powered. Dual heat sinks. LED to confirm your power. Refresh. And this is the most important one at the bottom. I had to laugh. The most important thing on the whole list. It has a writable label area for Avery labels. And I'm going like, really? I definitely am buying it for that, man.
To be fair, the tech industry is out of ideas, aren't they?
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. I'm going like, yeah, I'm buying it, man. I want that space to put that sticky label on there. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's my thing. Anyway, it's powered by USB 4.0, as they call it, which is really just the 40 gigabyte a second USB-C.
Thunderbolt 4 kind of speeds, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think my laptop has that. I'm not sure, but
some of them do. They apparently they have a 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, and 8 terabyte. So this is their 16 terabyte. Very cool, very neat. Wish I could have it, but here comes the price. It's now available for $3,000 USD.
Well, it's either that or a 5090, isn't it? So
man,
I don't. That's just silly money, man.
It is. It
And
is.
the thing is, it's right. I know, Gray, you've got at least one, if not more, external SSDs. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of them, right? They've got their purpose and use. I like to be everything inside, all neat and tidy, and it's where you get the fastest speeds. If you're connected directly to the motherboard, you get the fastest speeds. It's just fact.
True.
I know external drives have got their purpose. I don't think internal or SSDs can get to the 16 gig. I think the most I've ever seen, and like an NVMe, for example, the chewing gum style ones,
Yeah.
the fastest type that you can get. I think the most I've ever seen in one of them is 8 terabytes. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you've
Yeah,
seen
there was.
more,
I know there's one of 8 exists, so I'm not sure if there's a bigger one, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
personally I'm with you on this one. I also rather have them internal. Now, granted, on my laptop I have 2 internal NVMe's, and
yeah,
then I have 1 external SSD, but I use that to play my retro games on there.
yeah.
So,
Same.
I wouldn't actually install like a newer game on there. Not
See
that it's not possible. It can be done though. There's not
Well,
really a big problem, but
I have a 4 terabyte external SSD, and it's real fast. And I paid.
they are fast. Yeah. They're not bad.
And I paid, I think,
So-
I'm gonna say 250 or something. But the thing, I haven't run the numbers yet. But if I'm looking at this thing at 16 gig, I'm going like, that's way more expensive than my 4 terabyte. I mean, as far as if you multiplied it out, it would still be way expensive.
Great.
It is.
The cost is a rip-off because it's only 2000 megasecond, right? Like the
Yeah.
That's not
fastest
much, eh?
internal NVMe SSDs they can go up to like past 10,000 now.
Yeah.
It's stupidly fast. So you're only getting 2000 for that price. It's
And I'm
because
pretty sure, I'm almost positive that my 4 terabyte is faster than this.
I think
And-
it's because you're purely getting so much storage. Whereas if you were to put a mechanical hard drive in, yes, mechanical hard drives go up to like 16 or more, but they're obviously way slow. And they'll probably fail quicker as well. So I think that's all you're paying for the price, but it should be cheaper and faster for that cost. That's nuts, man.
Yeah, it's
Not for
cool,
me.
but way too expensive. But I only, like I said, I'm just looking at it for the cool factor, not for the price.
Yeah. I like stuff like that as well, man. I find stuff like that geeky inside as well. So,
That's it for mine.
Carrying on the hardware tech news trend, get some stuff on my side as well, and I'll get Hans to chip in with his opinion as well, because we were talking about this during the pod and before we came on. Actually, to be fair, and it was machine learning and DLSS and whatnot. The first thing I've got here that I find interesting because it needs it. Is Nvidia's DLSS 4 multi-frame generation is now available in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, as well as several other games, to be fair. But the reason this one is interesting for me is because while I've not played it, it's not really my cup of tea. I could sit back and admire the quality without necessarily being a fan of it. For example, Elden Ring's not my cup of tea, but I'm still in awe of the quality of the game at the same time. Microsoft Simulator is similar. It looks stunning, but it is such an intensive game, even though some of it has been put onto the cloud for processing, so you need an online connection. It's still demanding. It's more CPU heavy than GPU heavy, and even if you have a good rig and you turn everything up maximum, very, very small chance you're getting over 100 frames in that, at say 4K. So you will struggle. Have any of you boys played this?
I played this when it first came out, and so I booted the game up, put everything on max, and I started flying. Those tutorial missions or whatever it's called, so the easy things. I was like, okay, this runs pretty smooth. Then I turned on my my frame counter, right? It's like 29 FPS. I was like, what? This game is one of the only games, right, that I didn't notice it was 30 FPS. So
it's demanding, man.
Flying and you don't notice.
But I didn't. That's the thing, though. It wasn't noticeable that it was 30 FPS in that particular game. Which, by the way, for me, is one of the only exceptions that I ever had that in a game. But
true. That's a very good point. I think people are still wanting to at least get a comfortable 60 minimum because, like, you don't need much more than that.
Yeah, of course. But just in that particular game, I didn't notice it. That's all I meant to say. So if
Yeah,
I do that like in Elden Ring or God of War or whatever,
oh,
I would
hell yes.
immediately notice 30 FPS, right? And just in that game
100%.
was like, oh wait, this is only 30 FPS. like,
As I've discussed several times before, and probably several times more in the future, that it's frustrating that, as far as I'm aware, you can't select your multiplier level of frame generation, whether it's one, two, three, fourfold. It's certainly in the games I played, and it's
yeah.
annoying because I'd like to maybe use one or two times and maybe not go all the way up to four, because four is just like it's just suicide
It's
in terms of
unplayable.
latency. Yeah,
Unplayable. Yeah.
it's unplayable,
So,
man. So give us the option more, Nvidia. That would be nice.
Yeah.
It's coming to a bunch of other games as well. Chronos, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Hell is
yeah.
Us. In fact, Hans, before this, we were talking a little bit about machine learning. Was it regarding Hell is Us, or was it, remind me what we were discussing at the start
The
of the
smooth
game?
motion technology that
Smooth
they
motion,
put
yeah.
in there.
Yeah, what
So,
did you want to mention about that?
well, normally it was only available on the 50 series, right? Which is, by the way, smooth motion is the driver level frame generation from Nvidia.
Yeah.
And it was only available on the 50 card, so they now opened it up to the 40 series cards also. Not the 30 series or the 20 series, just the 40 series and the 50 series can do it now. Now, I gotta be honest, I haven't used it yet. So, but I am gonna test it out and we'll see what it gives. To be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of frame generation so far. I like the technology, but
Yeah.
once you get to ×2, that's where the problems start. Really start. I mean, even ×1, like I do with the 4090 that I have, right? Some games,
wait.
no problem.
Times
Sorry.
one is normal. Times
The
two
normal
is
one,
where it
yeah,
starts.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but
Well,
even
you played a bunch of lossless. Didn't you notice lossless being better with that? I did.
on a no, frame generation is actually better than lossless scaling, right? But lossless scaling is actually really good for what it is. But
Oh,
once you
yeah.
get to ×2 or ×3, that's when the discrepancy fades away, because ×3 frame generation, I did it a few times. The latency is just so bad, especially ×4, it becomes unplayable, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And we tested this with lossless frame generation also, remember? What we did there was put it on ×10 or ×15. You would actually push the controller, or you push your keybind, and like a second and a half later, your character would move. So
It's nuts, man.
It's
It's
unplayable.
it's a bit like digital zoom in a camera. Like after
Yeah.
so much zoom, you just give up and stop.
Also, have you used frame gen ×4 for any game, Trev? Because you got a 50 CS card, right?
Yeah, I do. I think I tried it out briefly on, say, like Cyberpunk to test it out, but I wouldn't keep it there. I wouldn't
Same
keep
here.
it
I
there, guys.
tested it with a 5090 that I had for a while. Not mine, by the way. I can't afford one. I'm too poor for it. And when you put it on ×4, also in Cyberpunk, you would see this little edge around every character, right?
Yeah.
So and ghosting and all that kind of stuff. It's like, this is
Well,
why.
see, their DLSS, like Nvidia's machine learning, is, in my opinion, the best in the business, right? A lot of the competition is catching up and getting close to them. I still think even at 4 times, their level is still better than the competition's level. However, as Hans says, you still notice some stuff there,
Yeah.
and the latency is just not good enough. So I would say to Nvidia, because I know you're watching, Jensen, if instead of going and keep on bringing out another version of DLSS like 5.0 and 6.0, instead working bringing down the latency and improving the quality, right? Don't bring out 5.0, 6.0. We don't want, we don't, nobody needs it. Make the quality way better, and then we'll be happy with that.
I agree. I think frame gen on its own, right, is a cool technology. And whether you like it or not, it's going to be the future. They're going to use it for almost everything.
Future, it's here now.
Yeah, so the thing is, though, that with the 50 series, they sold it on multi-frame gen, right? Which I don't think personally was a really good idea, because the technology just isn't at the level that everybody, I need to have this, I need to have this.
Yeah.
And I wonder what they're going to do for the 60 series. That's
I think it's like you said. I think 2 times is fine. Anything beyond that, forget it. And 2
even
times
2
is
times
only
in
good.
certain games is wonky.
Right.
So.
Right. I mean, unless you're playing a game that's optimized so bad that you have to go over 2. But otherwise 2 is plenty, because generally speaking, even if you're getting, let's say 45 frames or something, and you double it, all right, now you're up to 90. Cool.
Great.
Yeah.
It's called art. That's a great example. You need DLSS for that so bad.
And you also you need to have a good base frame rate to get frame gen to work. So
that's a very, very good point. It has to be a half decent frame rate and a half decent resolution to actually work with. Otherwise, it's not good.
And you need a monitor with a good resolution.
For my use case scenario, right? For my use case, 45 FPS is the bare minimum to use frame gen. Anything below it, there's too much latency.
I would say 60, considering we all play at high frames. But I'm
just saying 45 is the bare minimum to have it playable.
My screen. That's about right.
So
I noticed even in
60 is ideal.
Once in a blue moon, when I go to the Loss of Scaling web Discord, they have said stuff like that. Don't go with anything below 45.
Yeah, and 1080p as well. You're basically wanting 1080 60 as a base to work from.
Yeah, true. If you play 720p like on the older laptops, like a lot of people still do, it's kind of
because
pointless.
Hans, it's a bit like the AI in terms of like Gemini and ChatGPT and stuff. The output's only as good as the input, and in this respect, if you put in crap, you're going to still get crap out, but maybe not as crappy, but it'll still be crap. So put something decent in,
Yeah. It'll be crap with lipstick on it.
Have lipstick on it. But, we like talking about stuff like that because we on the Extreme Game Podcast, we love the tech behind this stuff. I know some of you guys prefer just purely the gaming news and the gaming reviews and stuff, but we also love the hardware because we're PC gamers at heart. So
now we still can do it. So
exactly. Well, we still can. Moving on with the hardware news, and this is something I'm generally not surprised about. Again, a lot of stuff that's not surprising me tonight, boys. PS5 price is exponentially large barrier for Monster Hunter Wild sales, Capcom president says. Now, we know the franchise of Monster Hunter is very, very popular. We're starting to get to the stage now where these tariffs are getting so ridiculous that it is actually hitting the sales, the pockets of companies, including Capcom. And this is a big thing because if we discussed this in the past, I think, boys, where after there was a chart that showed, I think maybe Matt brought this up before, there was a chart of how much consoles cost when they first come out and then 5 years later. And they all went down in price, right?
Yeah.
Not with the PS5. That was an exception where it's now more expensive than when you got it at the start.
It's
that's mental, man. Like
the PS5 Pro over here, right? The base version is €800. If you want the disc version, you're up to 920. If you want a game with that, you're looking at €1,000 investment for your PS5 Pro with one game.
That's nuts, man.
At that point, I'm like, okay, I know a PC is expensive, right? But at that point, I'm like, okay, just put in a couple of more hundred and get a PC, because in 2-3 years, the PS5 Pro is going to be replaced with the PS6, I think.
Yeah.
So
and then how do they price that one, Hans? They've got to be careful. You've got it. The PS5 Pro, they would have to discontinue that because if it was still in the market, they couldn't make the PS6 more expensive because, they couldn't make it more expensive. They wouldn't get away with that, with especially the power levels. So,
they're walking a slippery slope in this one when it comes to prices. So,
tariffs are a big part of it. We know that, but
I know, but it's still the consumers. I mean, would you be honest? Say tomorrow the PS6 comes out, right? And it's €900 for the base price. Would you buy one for that price?
Well, I bought the PS5 Pro, so probably, mate.
I wouldn't.
He's the only crazy one. We're not going to do that.
The PS5 Pro did sell pretty well for what it was. So
it's a very unique. They know. Listen, the Pro versus the original PlayStation 5 is a unique thing. Sony knew that it wouldn't be as popular because the general gamer wouldn't buy that. It'd be for enthusiasts. So this is why they charged top dollar for it, because they didn't want to make a loss on this. Whereas the PS5, when it first came out, as most consoles, they make a loss on it because that's how they start getting their money back. More people to buy the consoles, and when GTA 6 comes out, that's going to help their sales massively.
Oh yeah,
Now,
yeah.
we know with this article I just discussed there, we're talking about PS5 and Capcom in the same sentence. And why is he mentioning PS5? I mean, it's out on Xbox, it's out on PC, because the most popular platform is always going to be PlayStation, isn't it? So
Depending on the game, yeah. I'm not sure with Monster Hunters. I never played those games, but there's a lot of games that are more popular on PC. On PC than on PS5, and vice versa. It depends on the genre, I think. Same for think the single player games like we play the most. I think they sell massively better on PlayStation and Xbox because they're just more suited for the couch gaming experience, so to speak.
This is why I got a PlayStation, man, for the couch experience. I could do it with the PC, and it's set up for that, but it's not as easy to just quickly turn on and do it, and that's why I like it. Because I know
that's why a little bit of a side tantrum. That's why maybe Valve, with their new console that they're talking about, could step in there. So we'll see.
Wait a minute. Why can't you just... I don't play consoles, but why can't you just boot up your computer and get a wireless hand controller, and there you go?
You can, but it's nowhere near as quick, man. Even the setup to get the working, it took me longer because it's another separate cable routed along the ceiling and stuff.
Yeah, it's not as easy as plug and play if you have PC in...
Yeah.
Let's say, I take myself, for example. I have my PC at my desk. My TV's in the other room, so I can't technically put a cable through the wall and that kind of stuff, and it's just more hassle. If some people do it, though, they actually play their PC on their TV. So you can absolutely do the couch gaming, but, I'm not a big console guy, but it's one of the only benefits of a console where you just, boot it up and you can play.
Yeah. Great.
Or at least it used to be, because, I mean, like a PS5 or an Xbox, if you turn it on, you got an update. It's like, okay, I'm not playing tonight. Right?
Literally, I can pick up my PlayStation controller, hold the button on at the front, and it not only turns the console on, but it then turns the TV on at the same time.
To be fair, you can do it with a PC also, but it's not as easy. So
and regarding the updates, that is a valid point. But there is different power modes where you can put it in a lower power mode, but it'll still update itself in the background. Not everyone wants to do that, but a lot of people leave their PCs on standby. Grey does that all the time because electricity must be cheap in Florida. Yeah, it's too expensive in Europe.
Though, I think Xbox has it, right, that I want on PC. It's quick resume, right? That is one feature that Xbox has. You can store 20 games in the background, so to speak. You can even turn off your console. You can turn on your console, do quick resume, and you're back in the game within a fraction of a second.
Yeah, I like that.
That is something I would actually like on PC. I don't care how.
It technically exists, Hans, but they know DirectX storage or direct storage?
You can do it. It's not nearly as easy as on Xbox. So.
As far as I'm led to believe, only one developer, and I don't remember who it is off the top of my head, only one developer actually enabled this. It's a feature that's not been used much at all. It's such a shame because it is possible, but no one's using it.
I know. Yeah.
So what can you do?
I know. It's just something that I would like personally. That is something from consoles I would like to take to PCs. So that's something. Yeah. So it's.
I like it. I'm a big fan. Right.
I have a quick question, Trev.
42.
I don't know about this stuff, but PlayStation, is there a big piracy thing with PS5? Not the unit, the games.
No, you can't crack them. Even PlayStation 4 can't be cracked yet, although I think they're getting close to doing it.
There's an emulator that works for PlayStation 4 with certain games now.
The emulator, but in terms of cracking the console itself, mate, that's a lot more difficult to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can certainly do that. It's a lot more difficult to do in consoles, a lot more difficult for maybe obvious reasons, but yeah. Okay, moving on from that, This another one that's not surprising me. Will piss some people off. Doesn't piss me off, and I'll explain why in a moment. Steam, from the lovely guys over at Valve, they now require age verification in the UK for mature game pages. Basically, mature games, adult games, that kind of thing. They're rolling out this requirement for everyone in the UK. It seems to have went into effect as the time of reading this. I've not tested out this theory, although Xbox sent me the same email And I thought I'm just going to go in and verify just now to get it out of the way. And it said I don't need to verify, so I don't know if I don't
Yeah.
recall getting any adult games for Xbox.
No,
So I don't know why it's doing that, but yeah.
I read into that, Trev. The thing is, though, with both Xbox and Steam in the UK, you don't need to verify your age with a photo or your ID card. If you have your Steam account, right, and you have a credit card linked to it, then you're automatically verified. That's how Steam does it. I don't know for Xbox.
Stupid, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, but wait a
I
minute.
understand why though. They don't really want the hassle of having the passport things and then the ID verification, because that would make them liable if they would.
But that means
say
if you're
Steam
under,
would
if
been
you're,
hacked.
what
right?
what stops the parents from giving a kid their
Yeah, I
card?
know,
and
yeah, but that's not Steam's problem, right?
yeah.
Steam
No, I understand, but
doesn't want anything to do with that stuff. So suppose Steam gets hacked, right? And all the ID verification is on there and gets leaked. They're in massive trouble. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
True,
I
true.
get why they
Those
do it.
games
Though. I'm not
got-
a big fan of this verification thingies myself, but
Well, let's discuss this briefly because I understand why people are getting upset about this, right? Civil liberties and what's right and what's wrong. I get all that. For me personally, I don't mind doing it. I don't really care. However, I do respect the people that do care, and I see why they do care. It's about taking away free speech and
yeah, it
free
is.
impartial world and all that. What do you boys do? You personally agree, disagree with this? Not care?
I mean, if you have kids, especially, then I could probably understand it because you don't want you don't want to make things so easy for a kid to jump on and play games like that. So I guess it's somewhat of a deterrent. So in those respects, with kids and children, yeah, it seems fine.
What's the situation in in the EU hands and in the States, Gray, with this? Is it something
At the
that's
moment, it's the same. There's nothing happening here about ID verification. I think we all know it's going to come at some point, so there's no escaping it. And just like Ray says, I mean, I understand to a certain point why they do it, right? But on the other hand, I don't want the government to know what I'm playing. So, seriously,
They
Does
already
it really
do.
bother you that much?
I'm not a big fan of governments in general, so
Well, they know your whole layout now with all
Yeah, I
your
know,
special
I know.
collectibles, you know, because
it's
on
just
Discord,
one
they've already
other
seen
thing that
it.
they know, right? Just one more thing. And
Yeah.
what's it gonna be in like a year? Another one small thing, and in the end,
Hans, you're just upset that you don't want some Belgian government official sitting there looking at your Elden Ring style of play and laughing his ass off because of how poor it is. That's all.
you know what, Trev? I actually wish they would know what Elden Ring was, but I'm pretty sure none of these guys are gamers. So,
Yeah.
Might be geeks. You never know.
it
I
could be,
doubt
you
it.
know,
So.
Gray, what's the is this a thing in the States at the moment?
I mean, I don't know if they're doing this on Steam over here. I would have to check it out. But the only thing they do over here is just like with the movies and other things. They do Peggy, right? Peggy 16. So
Same here.
they do something like that for the games, just as a something that a parent can look at and say like, I don't know.
And it's state by state, isn't it? It wouldn't be countrywide.
No,
This
that's
is
more
state
of
by
a
state, isn't it?
national. Well, the Peggy rating and other things like that are pretty national. They just throw it on there.
So that's a federal thing, then, is it? When it comes to
Yeah,
that,
but it doesn't mean you can't play it. It's just a rating, and so the parent can, just like the movies. You know, you're not going to send your kid to an X or R rated movie.
Yeah.
So, same
Do you,
thing.
do you honestly think it'll make any difference when GTA 6 comes out? The amount of
No.
kids that'll be playing that, man.
No.
Mum, can I have that? Can I have that? It won't be them getting it themselves. It'll be them saying to their parents. And their parents go, yeah, sure. And I'm like, what?
You bring up a really good point. I'm wondering what's going to happen
I
myself.
tend to do that, Gray. Thank you.
There's gonna be a lot of peer pressure on kids that want to play that game that maybe shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That'll happen, mate. You know it well. It's coming. And
Kids will-
Rockstar will just come out and say, well, hey, it's just a game.
Rockstar doesn't care at all. They will make all the money on that game.
I know,
Doesn't
there's
matter
people-
who buys it. So
The money will be dropping from the ceiling while they're
Yeah,
saying
it's,
that. We don't have,
it's actually complete insanity if you think about it. What GTA has done to.
yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting article to discuss, boys, just because of the nature of all. It's the way it's all going. It's whether you like it or hate it. you're entitled
There's
to your
no
opinion.
stopping that train anymore. So
No,
This is a big what if, but what if GTA 6 comes out and it's not good? Can you imagine the backlash on that one? Woo!
Gray, I think you should probably stop smoking crack before you come on to the
Yeah.
Extreme Gaming Podcast, mate. I think it's against their terms and conditions. So
it's gonna be a good game, I think, and they're gonna milk it to the end like it did with GTA 5.
hell,
So
of course.
It's the main reason I have a PS5 Pro, boys. I don't want to wait another 1 to 2 years later to play
I
it.
do. No problem with that one. So
No, but probably because GTA,
I'm not into the
while
games,
you
I can
like
wait.
it, it's not like at top of your list, and you
No,
want to play
no,
it
no,
its
no,
best.
no, no.
So that's why.
to be fair though, I would never buy any system for just one game, right? I know a lot of people do that.
Of course not, man. I might look like a mug, but it's
Unless
also
it's
for
Doom.
other
No, but I
reasons
mean,
as
a
well.
lot of people do that, Trev. So,
Yeah.
I want GTA 6, I'm gonna buy an Xbox, or I'm gonna buy a PlayStation, right?
You look at the PlayStation sales round about the time GTA 6 comes out, because Sony will have it won't be exclusively on PlayStation, but they might have it a couple of weeks ahead of time. They'll have a special edition on it. They'll have more marketing rights. More copies will sell for it. The amount of consoles they'll sell, mate, Sony are laughing.
Yeah. Rockstar
What's
is the king of upselling, so to speak. Eh?
What's the
yeah.
date on GTA 6? Is that May? Or?
May, still May
Yeah.
next year. It hasn't dropped. Yeah,
So
it's
now,
still
who-
got it.
Who will
Calling it
come out?
now, it's not gonna release in May next year. Calling it now.
I think it will. I think it will.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but who's going to come
I
out
think they're gonna
first?
do it to the holiday next year and sell extras.
Who's going to come
We'll
out
see.
first? GTA 6 or Half-Life 3?
GTA
GTA
6.
6, that's easy.
You think so?
That's easy, mate. That's easy.
If I was-
You're a
if I
troll.
was
You're a troll
Valve-
for asking that question. You're a troll, Mr. Gray.
If I was Valve, I would put my game out at Christmas time. Half-Life 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is not even in development. I know a lot of people say it is, but
Oh,
No,
I'm
no,
kicking him
definitely
off.
is.
I'm kicking him off, Gray. That's disgusting. Maybe you wait
No,
to
no,
tell
it
he's
definitely is. There's no doubt.
Dude,
There's so
I
much-
don't believe it.
Don't say that.
I want to see it first before I believe it. So
Oh, you
Look,
stop
they
it.
didn't have the G-Man come out of retirement to do that spot for no reason.
Yes.
I mean,
exactly.
why would you do
The
that?
G-Man.
we'll see. I hope you're right. So,
The last thing I have in the old docket, we're continuing the trend of not being surprised about things tonight. Sony is reportedly planning a Nintendo Switch style PlayStation 6 portable. I'm not surprised in the slightest, because they were very successful with their first portable consoles, the PSP, the PS Vita. They were very, very popular consoles. They were their own separate ecosystems. They weren't. It wasn't like Xbox Series S and X. They had separate platforms. They were very popular. Now, I don't play games on the go. I don't think you boys do either, so it's not really for us. But you see, the Switch was massive when it first came out. It was a great idea. Everyone and their dog has been copying them ever since. So are we really surprised that Sony are going to come out with a PS6 portable that will be Switch style? I'm not. Are you boys?
no,
I'm surprised they haven't come out with it way sooner than this.
Yeah.
No.
So
The thing is, though, one thing though, if you look at the Switch and the Switch 2, right, they have this built-in audience that is more family-oriented. I'm wondering if the PlayStation, players are that much interested in a handheld. So I think
True.
I think they're less interested in it than the Switch players. That's what someone meant to say. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna
Could be.
fail though. It's gonna sell massively, but I'm just saying that I think that the player base is less interested in it than it comes to the Switch.
it's a good point. Sure.
It's interesting for me, this bit of news, because if you look at what Xbox are trying to do, so they were working on their own portable, and then rumors are that's been canned, and like they're just selling that to like ROG and other companies to actually make a portable console. I still think we'll see one from Microsoft when the new Xbox comes out. I think that'll be a thing. And then it'll be a case of whatever game is released on the portable console and the main console at the same time. And that'll be a rule that Microsoft put in. I'm surprised about this bit of news from Sony, because I thought they would do the same thing. I thought they would bring out a PS6, I thought they would bring out a portable, and then the same game has to go between them, but scalable in terms of power for obvious reasons. But if I'm reading this correctly, if they're planning a PS6 version of a Switch, that means this portable for a PS6 could be played on the go, portable, but then you could put it in a dock and it'd be a home console. So why would you have that and a PS6, boys? You
Because
wouldn't.
it won't be as powerful, most likely.
So I
Well,
don't
the
get that.
dock will
And
be okay, yeah. So
we know there'll
just,
be a PS6, so I don't know if I buy this, man. Like, that's just, you're eating into your own market then in that respect. So
maybe, yeah.
yeah,
Here's one thing though. I always said for a few years, and I do think that PS6 and that whatever the next Xbox is gonna be the last traditional console as we know it.
in what respect?
I think it's all gonna go. It's already now happening to digital, right? So it's gonna be like you're gonna have the PlayStation platform and the Xbox platform, which you can play like
So you're
the
talking about
PlayStation
cloud
platform.
gaming.
Yeah,
More
something
cloud.
like that. Yeah, it's app based more. So you can
Yeah.
have your PlayStation on your smart TV, so to speak. Install the app. There you go. You got PlayStation. So
Yeah.
that's what I think is more gonna happen. It
Yeah.
looks like we're evolving in that situation. Like no
Well,
more
they-
console
well, cloud-
wars, but platform wars.
Cloud gaming has been evolving into that for a long time, and yet it
So-
still hasn't quite
Yeah,
gotten
it's
there yet.
the latency. You'll
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
get that
So-
to catch up, mate. You can't beat physics, and you just won't get it as good. It's got its niche, its separate market, which is fine. For me, with this here, this article came from this famous leaker, Moore's Law. We've heard
Moore's
of
Law
Moore's
is
Law
dead,
before, yeah. He's seen, yes, 100%. Although I hope the chap's still alive because he does provide a lot of nice leaks. He's seen multiple documents that basically call out this plan for our PS6 portable. So I think it's something that probably will happen. The rumours of a PS6 portable would have an AMD APU. Not surprised, AMD are doing a lot of stuff like these days. It would feature potentially 4 Zen 6C cores. I'm guessing that's just cut down versions, and 2 further cores dedicated entirely to system tasks.
That's
in
good.
addition, keep it separate. The PS6, in addition, the PS6 is said to itself, the main console, feature 16 RDNA 5 CUs, GPU clocked at 1.2 gigahertz in handheld mode. So sorry, no, actually, this is the Switch still again, and 1.65 docked. And we reckon probably, if we go by the leaks and rumours, it would cost roughly about $500, which would make this very affordable compared to, say, the ROG Xbox portable that's coming out or
The
about
ROG's
now.
way too expensive for what it is.
It's like £800 or something, the top model, so no.
Yeah,
And it'll-
over here it's about €900.
so £800, so 900 euros, but $800 plus.
It's too much for a handheld.
This portable for PS6 will probably come out in 2027, roughly about the same time as the new console. So probably not both at the same time. They don't want to cannibalize their sales, but there is definitely a market for it, boys. We're talking about mobile gaming in China and whatnot, and there's a lot of people that play
what's
games
the cost
commuting,
gonna
go
be
to
on
work.
Have they said?
What for the $500? That's the thing I just mentioned a moment ago. Yeah, $500
For the
which is good.
handheld?
Yeah, which is good, man. I think that's good for that power.
But that's as
That
much
would
as
be an
that's as much as
acceptable
the
price, I
console
think,
almost,
for-
depending.
No, the console's more expensive, and especially the Pro is more expensive as well. So, yeah.
So what you do is you buy the handheld, like you were saying before, and then put it up on your TV, and don't bother buying the main console. Save some money.
100%, my man, 100%. But yeah, found that pretty interesting. Certainly, time-wise, we have a bit of time left there, and I know there was another article Gray wanted to touch upon
but
upcoming
that's gonna probably-
real-time strategy games. So,
Yeah, but that's going to take a little while. We could
is
go
it
into
right?
the quiz.
Yeah. All right, no worries, my man. No worries.
Next week,
Well, what we'll do, what I forgot to read out before, and I apologise, I should have done this way sooner, was just a friendly reminder for you folks to join our Discord if you want to ask us about the latest games, hardware tech questions. We're quite a few of us that are PC game enthusiasts in there. We like our hardware, we like our games, all 3 of us here. So if you want to ask a question
Did you
about
say
a game,
we liked it hard? What did you say?
we do, especially you, mate. It's written in the Discord as one of the rules. If you want to come in and ask us a question about gaming or hardware, just come in and we can put it in the podcast as well. We used to actually do questions in the podcast. So if you've got a question, just come in. It's at discord.gg/Extreme Gaming Podcast, or just Google Extreme Gaming
And we
Podcast
talk
and you will find
entertainment
us.
and science fiction and
We
Star Trek and
other things in there. It's not too crowded though. It's not one of these Discords that's got 10 million rooms, because that's one of our rules. We don't want to. If a room's not used for a while, it will go because it's dead air. And also as well as the full feature length podcast, which is our bread and butter and always will be an hour and a half to 2 hours long every week. We also break it down into many topics and subjects of the things we're talking about. We call them EGP quick breaks, mini episodes, bite-sized episodes. Not everyone has the time or the focus for a full-length pod. That's fine, I respect that. I will also do the shorts as well to give you a little kind of teaser, YouTube shorts. So look for these things on YouTube as well as our audio pod downloads. But yeah, I guess, Mr. Gray, we should probably do the quiz so I can fail yet again.
oh, Matt's not here, so you might win.
Yeah, that's very true, man. That guy is a cheat. I'm still convinced, man. So, yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, the world famous EGP quiz. We're gonna throw it out to you guys to see how it goes.
Drum roll.
Get your hand on the buzzer for the world famous Extreme Gaming Quiz.
Question number 1: what movie is the party game Among Us based on?
I think I know this, but I'm not sure. I'm just gonna wait for Trev in this one.
Among Us.
I was actually surprised. When
I saw a
heard it.
documentary about it when the game came out, so that's why.
I'm going to guess Cluedo.
The Thing,
Okay.
I think it was.
The Thing.
The Thing.
That's a party game, is it?
Ding,
No,
ding,
The
ding.
Thing is not a party game, but it's the
Hans
movie.
is correct.
Yeah, see? I saw
I was
The
surprised.
only reason I know it is because I saw a documentary about it, so that's...
What has it got to do with The Thing? Really?
I'm not sure.
I can't say it,
I
sorry.
read the same thing, and I was just like, The Thing. I was like, what?
Oh, I get my games mixed up. Oh, god damn it. Right, okay. I suck balls. I hate the quiz. I hate it. Never mind. Carry on.
All right, we're going to go back in time a little bit. What was Spyro, the purple dragon, right? What was his original color? Apparently, he wasn't purple originally.
Don't know.
I didn't know that.
I'm going to go for a guess and say orange. He was
Okay,
an orange
I'm gonna
dragon.
do the same thing with Trev, I'm gonna go yellow. I have no idea.
What? Oh, God.
Well, guess what? You're both wrong. It was green.
See,
Oh,
I
that's
have no
boring
idea.
because a dragon often is green and he's getting really... So why did you change it then, Gray? Sure, there's a bit of lore
I
behind
have a
it.
funny. I didn't read the article on that one,
Oh.
but I think probably what they did do is they probably said we got to do something different. All the dragons are green, and some
Gray.
idiot said purple, and they go, yeah, that's it.
You need a line of lore for each of these questions, I think, when you read about just
line
to
of
make it
lore.
Yeah,
interesting.
we need an
right?
explanation for this one.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. We'll let you
Well,
off
I
this
just-
time.
I gave my assumption, but I don't know. In what year did the first Mortal Kombat launch?
I'm
Oh,
sure you've done this question before.
I know this, and I'm gonna tell a story about it once the question is answered because you're all
Yeah,
gonna
let
laugh
me-
your ass off. So
Let me try and guess first.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 92.
it is 92, 100%.
Is it?
100%. Great.
Ding, ding, ding. You're both right.
Say, and you know why? Remember when you were young and your dad or your parents they would
Long
have
time
like
ago.
this, yeah, they would have this bag of parking coins. So so you need small shades to go to pay for parking, right? So
Uh-huh.
what I did
Yeah.
was it was the fare was
Did you
in town.
take the money and go down to the arcades? You did,
I
didn't
took
you?
the whole pouch. I went down to the arcade, and when I came back, right, of course they knew that I did that, and I
Yes,
got
Hans.
beat up by my parents like there was no
Yes,
tomorrow.
Hans.
So they just started wailing and yelling at me when I got home, like, and I'm gonna put you away, and this and that. I never want to see you again. You can come home for, you can come home every week and get beat up again, and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay.
The only story I can think about that I could relate was when I went to the arcade and I was like a few bucks short of wanting to play for a long time or whatever. I would wait till because I always got up early before my parents did. So I would be up and I would grab my mom's pocketbook and just start shaking it because shit would always fall out and there'd definitely be money in there. Yeah. And all of a sudden I see a bunch of, like 5-6 quarters drop out and I go like, that'll do it. and take it along with whatever else I had in place. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You are both bad men. I would never do that. Bad boys, bad boys.
Yeah,
I like
but
it.
you support the Rangers, so that's something different. So.
Okay,
Leave me alone about
Dortmund
those
fan.
Rangers.
Dortmund fan, right? Okay, we're going down that one. Just
I'm
remember,
still banned from the stadiums.
just remember, we destroyed you guys last time we played you. Anyway,
Yeah.
right. Moving
Apparently
on,
it wasn't too hard.
we are going to wrap up there before these boys change the podcast subject completely to the Extreme Footballing Gaming Podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we might not have Mr. Matt back next week, but we'll see. He's studying very hard to be some kind of game developer, coding guy, so he could be making games for us. We never know. Yeah.
I don't think I want to play his games, but there we go. So.
Oh, lovely. Charming. Poor guy. It depends. You don't want to play Gray's games, you mean?
No, Gray doesn't want to play my games.
That's true.
Mm.
That's
Wait a
very true.
minute.
They're too pixelated for him, so.
Yeah.
Oh, those,
He's
yeah.
got you
That's,
there. He's got it there. Right,
I'll wait for
okay.
the remake.
Okay, boys and girls, we will leave it there. We'll play the outro. These guys will be silly and goofy, no doubt. But until next week, we will see you later. Be good and behave yourselves.
Bye.
Never.
If it plays, that is.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.